right, y'all, so go ahead and get out your CNN 10.
CNN 10?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You did such a good job today.
We got this out, we're good? Alright, here we go.
Welcome to a special edition of CNN 10. I'm Carl Lazus, and today's show comes one high-profile subject in the driver's seat: driverless cars. This means autonomous vehicles, cars that do all of the work of handling themselves without any input from people. Manufacturers worldwide are investing in the technology to make this happen. But right now, full automation doesn't exist on American roads, at least not legally. The car maker Tesla offers both an autopilot and a full self-driving capability package, but it says neither of them actually makes the vehicle fully self-operating. They're intended to be used with a completely attentive driver. The company has investigated a couple incidents in which crashes occurred when the autopilot feature was reportedly enabled. So there are concerns about the safety of this technology. And that includes the fact that it's only possible with computers. What if they lock up or need a reboot like your smartphone? What if they're hacked? Also, privacy advocates have sounded the alarm about your every movement and speed and destination being tracked and logged. Who gets access to that information? For today's show, though, we're giving you a glimpse of a driverless ideal. What could the future look like for a city filled with autonomous vehicles, assuming everything goes as manufacturers and supporters of the technology hope it will?
Americans love their cars. Getting my first car was one of the happiest days of my life. And I've loved driving ever since, especially fast cars. Yeah, that's not actually my car, but hey, look, this is my story and I can dream if I want to. But what if I'm part of the last generation to get excited about driving a car? I've spent the past year traveling the country, talking to entrepreneurs, engineers, and test drivers who are building the cars of tomorrow. And when they imagine the future, driving a car isn't part of it. They envision roads full of cars driven by machines, where traffic jams are no more, where the death rate by car accidents drops to zero. The end of car ownership as we know it. Even to the point of human driving one day becoming illegal. I asked them all the same thing. What will the future look like? And what will it take to get there? What I found was really exciting, but also a bit shocking.
Okay, so as soon as I turn out of this parking lot, I'm gonna engage in self-driving mode. Technically, we don't need a driver in the car.
So you and I are basically, in a way, just passengers now.
Yes.
We're test driving a car powered by autonomous vehicle startup Drive AI on the streets of Northern California. It's one of several companies working to utterly transform how we live. This test car could be the prototype of an automobile that not only takes you out of the driver's seat, but creates a future where you might not need to own a car at all. At least, that's what the people building them think.
Ownership will probably be abandoned. We mostly have cars that we summon on our phone. The car will come empty to us and pick us up, and we get inside in front of our office or house, and it drives us straight to the restaurant, and there's no time wasted in parking.
In a world of self-driving cars, the utopia of the future, the only vehicles operating in the city are driverless, electric, emissionless vehicles. They can position themselves in a state where you or I, hailing one from our smartphone, has one there within a minute.
We will look back and say, wow, people own cars to get from this point to that point.
Eliminating car ownership would drastically change the way we shape our cities.
The thing I'm most excited about is the ability on the street to reallocate space away from the storage of vehicles. Right now, cars sit idle 94.8% of the time. I mean, that's staggering. And I think we could literally close 30–40% of our streets to automobiles. You don't need cars on neighborhood streets anymore. You just need them on the perimeter of your neighborhood.
All of those parking facilities today get turned into residential space or parks or offices or restaurants, and we can kind of give back the city to the people who live in it and take it away from the automobiles, right? And I think that the quality of life and the opportunity to kind of reuse that space is going to be pretty magical.
Imagine it, never driving again. The nation of muscle cars, NASCAR, and open road. You're gonna tell Americans they can't drive? Well, eventually, maybe.
There may be a law in place that basically says 50 years from now, humans cannot drive on public roads. And if a human does want to drive, they can go to a private car ranch where you can basically drive to your heart's content.
All right, I know what you're thinking. A car ranch? But it's actually not that crazy. Remember, when we transitioned from horses to automobiles, we didn't shoot all the horses. Well, guess what? These car ranches actually already exist. Think of car companies that build high-end sports cars that are meant to be driven by humans, not robots. They're already building driving courses around the country. And yes, they're as fun as they sound.
We opened in May 2015. You'll come in, you'll meet you'll register and meet your driving coach, and then the driving coach will then take you onto the track. We believe this destination that we've created has got a long-term future.
Porsche knows that driverless technology is around the corner, but they still want people to love driving, even if they do less of it on public roads. All right, let's get back to the real world. The rise of car sharing services has already made people accustomed to the idea of not owning a car. Today, human drivers pick us up when we use Uber or Lyft. But that's not gonna last.
Autonomous ride sharing is absolutely it is right around the corner, and you'll see it in pockets at first, and slowly and surely you'll start to see these vehicles all over the place. There is an opportunity on a long enough timeline where we may have a fleet that is fully autonomous. As you start to see people adopt to transportation as a service, the hope here is that car ownership will slowly decline.
The ripple effect of automation on our cities will be felt beyond just cars. Drones will roam the skies, making deliveries. And robots, like this one already in Washington, D.C., may bring food orders to your door very soon. In the nation's capital, Starship Technologies delivers food by an automated robot.
There it is. Hello, robot. I'd like a sandwich. Man. All right. So I just had a robot deliver me a sandwich on the streets of Washington, D.C. It's just in the trial phase right now, but in the future it could be a lot more common. Robots, drones, deliver your hoagie right to your house. All you gotta do is push a button on an app, and you got yourself a sandwich.
All of these changes won't come easy. Perhaps the biggest fear? What will happen when all these robots get better at our jobs than we are? Will they replace us?
Okay, you heard phrases like eliminating car ownership and right around the corner, but you also heard words like prototype and test car. To be clear, experts say a cityscape with fully self-driving cars is likely to be decades away, and whether this would work in the country is another question entirely. For the present, even with all the technology available to us, drivers are still autonomously in control. And even if driverless cars seem the technological next step, the intelligence of smart cars is still artificial. So smart design will have to take the driver's seat if people are to take a backseat role on the road ahead. I'm Carl Azuz, and I break for CNN.
Alright, what do y'all think about that? That's not. I don't want to be a robot. That'd be cool. I think it's cool. See, that kind of y'all can't drive yet.
Why can't I?
Well,
We can tell them to take us somewhere.
yeah, you could tell, I mean, you wouldn't have to worry about it. You could just be like, take me to wherever you wanna go and it'd take you there, right?
To Mexico. Mexico.
Would you not?
They
What
might
if the
kidnap
car,
you.
what about, they talk about the like, what if the robots, and like, what if it like becomes more advanced than us? What if the robots destroy the world?
We just destroy it.
You think?
Yeah.
But then nobody knows how to drive, and then you gotta reteach everything.
What if they fuck
You think?
that?
See, it's crazy.
We make a war, electronic versus people.
Against the robots? So it's gonna be us against the robots?
And then they're gonna kill us.
Because that seems like, that sounds like, that sounds really.
They can destroy it.
Alright, so we're going to, hey, right here. We are going to be doing a quizzes, so y'all go to the, Canvas site and it's under, quizzes review.
I hate it. Can I just like join?
You don't need my whiskey.
I don't even like cars.
I just have to
Do you care if
do
it's
classic.
classic or?
Yeah,
classic?
and but that's fine. You can go back. Just hit back. I'm sorry. I've not tried the other.
No, 10 is too hard. Y'all.
Yeah, you can try that other. I've not tried it, but yeah, go ahead. That's fine.
Mr. Martin,
Alright.
how do I become tall? How do I become tall?
I do all that. Like, that one got it wrong.
Huh?
Oh, never mind.
They'll need to join though. I don't think it's they can click the link. They'll just need to join
So then,
myquiz.com. Put the code in.
join, what's the quiz number? Quiz code?
Oh, I'm too far. Join my quiz.com.
Maybe they look at
They can click on the link. Okay, I didn't know that link was not. I didn't know.
Oh,
All right.
we're cheating. I didn't see the code.
Hi.
Actually, heaven was the first one. No.
What? I'm doing.
Alright, we're missing 5 more, we should be 28.
Join my quiz.
The
Who's not on still? We got it? 2 more.
It's them too.
There's 28, I think.
Why are you on?
No, it's not working.
No, not account.
I'm gonna beat all of y'all.
Why? We got 1 more waiting on it.
Why does that computer?
Oh.
So that's next to 27.
No, he's getting logged on, yeah? You
Yeah.
getting logged on? Okay.
It says it won't
No
load.
problem.
Let me see this child.
Alright, so while they're getting that, let's talk about this whole drive-in situation some more. So, if we didn't drive cars anymore, and we started having things bring us food and stuff like that, what do y'all think would end up happening, like, to us as a whole? Like, do you think,
We're gonna be so lazy.
we would be really lazy?
yeah, we beat that.
We're gonna be like the people in
Fat
Wall-E.
people.
That's what I was about to say, you think it'd just end up being like a movie, we'd just be like Wall-E? Like all those people who
We
are
beat
just
all day.
sitting in the thing? What's up?
Probably it's
Hey, y'all, pay attention. Sorry, we repeat that. Yeah, and we just wouldn't have any jobs, we'd just be sitting and hanging out.
Yeah.
Would you want that, or do you think you would
No.
want to do, like, be working
Do.
and doing stuff?
Do.
Want to do stuff?
Yeah, I don't wanna be lazy.
Alright, well, let's get started here.
I'm already more
We'll
lazy.
be dead.
We're taking the big marker.
Alright, which letter on the map indicates the location of the Tigris River?
Mom is actually pressed the wrong button.
Your mask on. Hey, look. That's last time I'm warning y'all, okay?
You have a disposable mask? Alright, which letter on the map indicates the
PJ Nickel.
Persian Gulf?
Don't want that guy.
Oh yeah, baby.
I gotta run. Whoa.
Yeah, you're. I'm in front of you.
How am I still in 10th
I'm in front of you, Abby.
Alright, right, you're in D.
I'm in front of you.
Es que no pienso. Right, which one is the red seat?
Hey, sir, you don't want to play with us? No, you're not. I can beat him. I know that.
Oh, I'm in 7th, right? I got them all right. Where is Iraq? I don't have. It's D-Rab.
What's location? We get a prize. This is not in third place.
Alright. Here we go. Where is Turkey?
I know this one. I really love turkey. It's one of my favorite food is turkey.
There you go. Good job, man. And don't forget. 2 more days. 2 more days to make it over. Why? I'm literally says
Fish, I'm good for you.
Fishy stuff. Where is the Gaza Strip?
Oh, dude, I'm done. Uriel. 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 I got that right.
No.
Uriel.
Bro.
Did you pay for me?
Icy boy drop. Alright, so the correct answer was C. The highest water population. Pollution, sorry, not population. I'm looking at things wrong. Yeah, pollution.
That makes sense. Let's put you on set because I told you both times, stop talking.
Alright, now let's drop the commentary a little bit. Major rivers, Middle East.
a charger.
Let's go.
Let's go. Good job. Addy, I'm right behind you. I'm coming for you.
Who's the angel? Mikey's coming over.
Oh, that's tricky boy. This is up in 4 places, but it like upstairs isn't down. That's weird.
Oh,
There you go.
Right, major rivers. That was correct.
I'm not gonna write. Bitch, I'm coming for you.
No, I got wrong. I got 6,000. Huh?
Dang
I
it.
just said I got wrong.
Alright, so people in a religious group
Wait,
should. Which person is a member of an ethnic group?
If you get it wrong, you laugh.
Here you go, this is Ram.
I got it wrong.
3.
But I'm still upset.
Here we go, got it wrong.
Abby got 10,000.
Let's go.
You got 5,000. Mine says the others are still answering. Really? Okay.
Alright, so what do Arabs, Persians, and Kurds have in common?
I got it right.
I got it. I know
Oh, I have 8,000.
I stated 13.
Oh, wow. I got 10,000. I need to get this.
Yeah, most leaders practice this. Alright, which 3 major religions have their origins in the Middle East?
I'm scared. I'm scared.
Alright, yes, so Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. What do Judaism, Christianity, and Islam have in common?
What do you feel?
Okay, so we're a little torn on this one. So, let's look at it. So it says, the correct answer was it has led to regional conflict throughout the Middle East. Someone who got it right. Can you tell me why it's right? It was just a guess, it was a 50-50 shot. I mean, it was 50 people got it right. Someone who got it right. You got it right. Why is it right? You guessed? Okay, that's fine. I think the other one didn't look like right. So you used an educated guess. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes you gotta use educated guesses. You got it right. What would you think? I did guess. So everybody just kind of guessed? Yeah. Well, at least we used smart, educated guesses, right? Because that's something you can use on test skills. Did y'all know that? Yeah. You know, if you don't know, you know something's not wrong, or you know something's not right, then something has to be the correct answer. Anti-Semitism affecting the Jewish people. Y'all talk about this a lot. Alright, so the question I was asked was, what is prejudice? Do we know what prejudice means? So prejudice against somebody is like kinda. Keep going. What else? Like what?
I killed her.
You could, yeah, I mean, yes, you could kill somebody who you're prejudiced against. So prejudice would mean like, it'd be like I don't like this person because they have blonde hair. And so I'm always gonna be prejudiced against people who have blonde hair because that's just not what I like. I like somebody who has this type of whatever. So people were prejudiced against the Jews because they were different from them, right? They kind of looked different. They were wealthy. We talked about that. Remember all that? We talked about that type of stuff. So there's a large amount of prejudice against the Jews. Right, the belief that Jews deserve to return to their homeland. What occurred during the Holocaust?
You're bro.
You got it right.
Who got it wrong? Who got it wrong? Who got it wrong? Wait. Who got
That's on the other side. Hey, it happens.
Munching in it.
All right.
Hey, what don't kill you makes you stronger, right?
It's your heart.
We got 2 more minutes.
You're done.
This was the state of Israel was established by the Jews.
I'm not listening. I know that.
Yeah, that's fine. What break?
All right, we're gonna do one more question, then we're gonna go to break. So that question was historical claims to the same land. Which statement best describes development in the Middle East since the conclusion of World War II?
It restarted my plane, bro. It restarted on my plane. 7 late.
Oh, I'm at 6.
It's the first one on the left.
29. Well, I'm not wrong.
See?
Hey, don't sit down. Hold on.
I need to plug in my computer.
We need.
No, wait, okay, so yeah, that one was religion has played a major role. What did y'all say?
Never mind, we gotta go on.
Yeah, but yeah, religion has played a major role. I think y'all may be finishing, but we're gonna go to break. Why are you standing up?
Sit down.
Why don't you get up?
Ms. Dunlap will dismiss you. Hey, before y'all go, does anybody ride bus 2919?
Me.
Rashad? Come see me at the end of the day. I'm driving your bus today, I don't know where to go.
Oh. Yeah. Why can't you drive my bus? No, I don't drive that.
Go ahead. Single file.
I know how to
Guys, really make sure that you're keeping your distance, okay?
Did you go?
30 minutes.
Good. I've never done it that way. That's fine, it works.